Oh, hello, hello. We're finally on.
Somebody do that I love you.
Oh, hello, Leona. How awesome. Let's see. Loco has his shirt on I got him for his birthday. Let's see how it fits on you there. And we're going to go ahead and start, and we'll choose out of our jar, conversation jar.
Okay, I'm going to let you choose.
Oh, you're going to let me choose this time? Okay.
Yeah.
The conversation today will be discipline. Oh, disciplining your children.
And yourself.
And yourself. Disciplining. Oh, just plain old discipline. Okay, now nobody likes discipline. We all want to skip through the tulips and sing You Are My Sunshine and have nothing wrong. Nobody has to do anything to anybody. We're just all happy. But discipline has to happen. It just does. As parents, all right, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that what goes along, say, with family and discipline is consequences.
Yes, the consequences. And a lot of times in a family, you think, well, you do the disciplining. Hello, Janet. And I phoned. I love that hello. And it's so hard to be the disciplinarian. You think, oh, you do it. Then how to discipline? Aunt Jules, hi. If you guys have any comments on disciplining, let us know how it is. Michael and Clearly, hi. And Jack, hello. And iPhone. And yeah, discipline is awesome. It's an awesome thing. Oh, Janet, my pastor says choices have consequences. Yeah, good or bad. Hi, Michael. Good afternoon, Mar. Hi, Clearly. Um, yeah, we're talking about discipline today. And uh, uh, yeah, autism is hard, but it's doable. It depends on how bad it is. And Clearly, yes, we love the lives. And oh, we don't drink coffee. It's just, we just don't. We don't do things that cause addictions. Is disciplining addiction? Nope. A lot of times when people get married, they kind of scooch aside the disciplining. Nobody wants to be the bad guy, good cop, bad cop type thing. And uh, so you have to be, but it still has to be done. It's like discipline is what makes things straight. Like, let's say you see a tree crooked, and you got to straighten it out. You can't just say, oh, just leave it alone. You got to straighten it out, and it's not fun to be straightened out, but it has to be. Yeah, you like the name Ender. Yeah, Ender is awesome. Davey got that from a book he read in high school, and he loved the book so much he was going to name one of his kids that. Okay, so how do you discipline?
I named one of our kids after a song.
Yeah, Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, CVX Live. Hopefully, I think it will. I think we'll have a vaccine in no time here, because we already have, we're way close to it. And so how do we discipline ourselves? Let's start with that. How do you discipline yourself, especially since we have iPhones, games? On my Sunday message, I talked about how you could be distracted. You're not good or bad. You're just distracted. You're distracted from.
Ask them some questions that they
Yeah. So what? Tell me how you discipline yourself. Do you even discipline yourself? What are your plans for the day? What are your goals? What is it that you do to discipline yourself? And you have to. Oh, Aunt Jules, there's a problem. It is a problem these days. Everyone wants to be a friend, not a parent. So few know about consequences. That is so true. And a lot of parents say, oh, let's be friends, and say, no, the kids have friends. They need a parent. Apparently, they need a parent. And the parents have to discipline the phones. They have to tell them that's enough. But the hard thing is disciplining yourself. Tell me if you limit yourself to how much phone you do in a day, how much Facebook you do in a day. Yeah, even cats need discipline. Yeah, they have to know. Like my cat would, years ago, our cat, what was our cat's name? Newman would get up on the counter and I would scooch her off and I'd say no. Eventually she'd stop getting off the counter. You have to tell them, you let them know. And dogs need disciplining. Animals need disciplining. So you have to, so let's talk about disciplining
Like
yourself.
for children, discipline what kind of music they listen to, what kind of friends they have,
Yes.
what their goals are.
Yeah. Are you just going to let yourself float downstream and go with the flow? Or are you, a discipline is like using rows to guide a row on a boat. Where do you want your, the oars. What did I say?
Rows.
The oars that row your boat. And yeah, it's hard to discipline, but that's love. Yeah, it's true. And don't be one of the drifters that just drift about, go with the flow. You know, eventually you'll end up in the flotsam and jetsam. That's the slime that is on the side of the pool, side of the river, and you get stuck in there and you can't get out. But if you know how to use your oars, you direct your life. And Aunt Jules, and you have to demand respect. Our law is when we have family gathering, your phone goes in a basket and you socialize with everyone. I love that. And that is really good. We might have to start doing that with our family because these teenagers, they've all got phones now and they tune out and they just get on their phones. And we may have to do that. Say for 1 hour, I'm going to take the phones in this basket.
Well, that's what
I can do it at my house.
Davey enforces. Well, on Sundays we do.
Yeah, on Sundays. And do it with yourself. Say, I'll give myself an hour on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And hi, Helen. So glad you could make it. And you discipline yourself and say, am I going to say my prayers in the morning? Am I going to do my exercises? Am I going to eat right? Am I going to be nice to people today? Am I going to sit around all day, or am I going to get up and do something? What is my goals for the day? And you can't just count work as something that you're doing, because nobody likes to go to work. What's their family channel? Get so many subs. My sister-in-law does not let my nephews do iPad much. Good, that's good, Janet. And we just have to do it. If you don't, you'll end up in the flotsam and jetsam and just be stuck there. And you say, well, what am I supposed to do about it? I'm stuck here. And you think there's a lot you can do about it. And Momma O, how do you have so many subs? I've been subscribers. I've been at this for almost 5 years, and no, we did not get flooded. We lost our electricity. We're not down low enough that we could get flooded. We don't have a basement, so we'll never be flooded. But we lose our electricity, and my electricity one will come out on Saturday when the lights went out. And last week, oh yeah, it was last week today. I think that our no, it was two, yeah. I pray, thank you for praying for us. And at Jules, they will appreciate. Another thing, everyone helps with the dishes after dinner. I like that. Even the 3-year-old takes the spoons off the table. I like that. That's a good suggestion, Aunt Jules. Was Naomi glad to see the kitty? Yes, she tried to find it, but she couldn't. It was hiding so good. Hi, Mom and Papa, says Ancestral Bliss. Hi, glad you made it. And I don't know. I don't think we'll get a puppy, but Rochelle's kids want one really bad. Papa, we don't want to deal with a puppy, do we? And then we got all those cats, so no puppy for us. And
no, we're doing cat rescue.
Yes, And Harry, hello, Harry Jeffrey. And we're talking about disciplining yourself, disciplining your children, and how to discipline yourself. You don't really give yourself consequences, but consequences do come by themselves. They just do. Like if you sit on Facebook all day, the consequence is you didn't get anything done. You didn't accomplish your goals. You don't want to have wait all this time to come to Earth to sit there and get on Facebook. Disciplining is hard work, but it's very worth it. Yes, ancestral bliss. It's it's easy. Like we compared it to drifting down a stream, and disciplining is you take the oars out and you steer you where you want to go, and it's a lot of work. But what happens in the meantime? You're building muscles, aren't you? If you're just drifting down a stream, you're not building anything. You're just drifting and looking at the scenery and saying hi to people. What's so hard about that? And then you go nowhere. You just drift. You don't want to be a drifter, and so you have to be careful about disciplining. And like Papa O, he disciplines himself to learn languages. I'm not that. I don't love languages enough to discipline myself. Um, and Harry, I think Mom got another one. I don't know. And so if you want to get muscles and build your character, build you, then you have to have discipline. Hi, Greg. And what's behind the wall in the that's my dad's. What
Military.
My dad was in he was in the Navy, and so when he died, we put a little.
I thought it was Air Force or something.
The Air Force, Navy. What's different?
Air
Force.
Navy's on the ship.
Yeah, his was the air. So we put that together for him, and.
There's a name for those, what they call them.
I know, I can't think, but for some reason I got it to display. And my mom and dad died in 2012, 4 months apart from each other. And disciplining your kids. How many of you have kids out there? Or how many of you are kids and you don't like how your parents discipline? If you don't like how they discipline, just thank them. Say, thanks for disciplining me. You're straightening up that crooked tree. If we just let things grow the way they grow, they're not going to produce much. Hello, Jet Jew. Yes, we have minds. Yes, and kids. So you have kids, Marines. Yes, the Marines. And so you have to know that disciplining has to be. Even God disciplines us. He gives consequences. Whether they're good or bad, there's consequences. And discipline, reading the Bible. Yes, and grateful. MC, hi, Mom and Papa. Oh, sorry, that's okay. We just started about 5-10 minutes ago, and we're talking about discipline. Disciplining your children, disciplining yourself. Disciplining is not fun. Oliver always says is doing something in, let's see, Momma O. Yeah, and disciplining, like you kids that are teenagers. Do you think discipline's important? And you have to start disciplining, or you're going to end up, in Little Mermaid when Flotsam and Jetsam are the names of the Wicked Queen's followers. Welcome, Grapefruit, just got here. Mama O, did the kitty get home? Yeah, one of them, the black one, got home. And it's scared to death. It hides like crazy. Naomi tried to catch it, but she couldn't find it or anything. So it may be a little on the wild side. I've seen it a couple times. And so, and when your kids act out in a store, you've got to discipline them. You let them know ahead of time. Like you go in the store and say, here's $1. You spend your $1, and don't you do a big freak out if you don't get what you want in the store. Thank you, Greg. So happy a cat returned from Naomi. Yeah, she was so sad. Which boy got the most disciplining in your family? Oh, good question. Gosh, they all got disciplined. Whoever was in trouble. Seemed like the teenage years.
Actually, we can call it guidelines. Giving them
guidelines, yes. Yeah. Like there's a meme of a guy jumping over this guardrail, and he calls it a fence. He goes, I don't want to be fenced. And you go, that's not a fence, that's a guardrail. And he falls to the ground. Say guardrails are to protect you. Rules and discipline is to protect you. Like I grew up on a farm, and one of my jobs was to go around and check the fence. It's an electric fence. And the cows, they like to go push on it way in the back and try and get out. And the problem, kids do that.
Kids look for the weak spots.
They look for the weak spots as parents. They look for who's going to be the weak parent, and they kind of pit parents against each other, um, and they try and get say, well, dad said I could do this, mom said I could do that, and they get mom and dad fighting. Mom and dad have to be in agreement with how to discipline. Spanking used to be a very popular way to discipline children, and then or standing in corners, or but you decide on how you want your disciplining to be. Grateful MC. My son required a lot of discipline. He was quite impulsive when he was young. Thankfully outgrew it. Exactly. When they're teenagers, they get a little attitudes, and they don't realize their friends are not going to be around for very long once they graduate. And thank you, ancestral bliss. Yes, and when you pit parent against parent, the kids they find a weak spot in the fence, and they'll push on it, and they'll push on it, and if the parents fight, well, I told him he couldn't have that iPod. Well, I said he could, and then the parents are fighting, and then there you go. You're getting weaker and weaker. Says you've got to be strong as the parents. You can't be doing that. Yeah, time out, says Jana. Ancestral bliss. I had one of those too. Grateful MC. Davey is such a loving dad. Yeah, it was Papa O hands. Yeah, we had to be really firm with Davey. He was always pushing on the fence. I called him when my kids would act like that. I say, quit being a fence pusher, and I'd explain about it on the farm. And a fence pusher, it's just going to cause trouble. What are you going to do? Get out of the fence, get hit by a car, or one of the baby calves will get out and get hurt by. There's trouble. Fence pushers are just causing trouble, and you have to put that fence up, and you say that fence is there. No, I'm okay. What about you?
No.
Shout out for Clearly. Ancestral bliss, haha, to know about Davey pushing it. Yeah, he was a fence pusher. Actually, all my kids were. And we had to keep that fence up. And we didn't fight. We didn't go against what the other person said. If Papa O said he can't go to that party tonight, and Davey comes to me and says, Mom, you said I could go. But Mom, I want to go. And say, well,
you could tell them.
Papa O said no.
What they did to one of them when they
had
a curfew.
You have
I went down to the movie house and
you have your rules ahead of time. You say you're to be in by midnight, and then tell them what the consequence is. If you're not home by midnight, then if you're 20 minutes late, then you lose 20 minutes the next time you go out. And so one time, one of our son Johnny went to a movie about 10 minutes to midnight. And he called and told me he's doing that. And then I hung up and I said, oh no, that movie will go past midnight. And so Papa O had to go down and get him out of that movie. And we said, sorry, that's our rule. We had the rule ahead of time.
He was waiting at the table.
Clearly, hi.
When we
yeah, he knew. You be home by midnight. We never let our kids stay out past midnight. That's just the rule we had, right? Like God, he writes the rules down. He gives us 10 rules, 10 commandments. And there's tons of consequences. Thank you, Greg. Always have to follow through. That's right. The punishments or your words mean nothing. That's right. If you don't follow through, you're weak. And be careful what you say you're going to do. Say, if you get home late, I'm going to kill you. Say, okay, you're going to have to kill him. Don't say you're going to kill him. Did Johnny get out of the movie? Yeah, Johnny came. He didn't like it. But he knew the rule ahead of time.
No, he was sitting at a table, waiting for the movie to start.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of his friends, we just said, "Come on, you're going home.
Come on, you're going home."
Because it'll be way too late.
And he knew. He didn't fight it. He knew. And they believe. Okay. And so you set the rules ahead of time. We'd write them down. This is what will happen if you hit your brother or sister. This is what will happen if you come home late. This is what happens if you go somewhere without telling us where you are. And write them down.
On the phones.
Hi, Emma.
On the phones, you can control your kids by how much phone time you have. And newer phones, you can regulate them.
Yeah, with the phone. See, we didn't have the phones back then. That's right. Boy. And you set the rules. You tell them the consequence. And you have a big family meeting. And they all know it. They all agree to it. They say, yes, this is what we're doing. That we agree. You don't just haul off and hit a kid every 2 seconds. What's that? Good rules for both of you. Yes. And tomorrow I can't remember who asked, Greg or somebody. Tomorrow I'm doing a DIY on zucchini stuffed boats. Zucchini boats stuffed. So please shout out my name for real. Mike, isn't clearly? Um, oh yeah, hitting children is, boy, they used to do it all the time. But the next generation, they put a stop to that. They put a stop because you get out of hand once you start hitting your kids. You don't have to be hitting them. Uh, so your friends know it's you. Okay, Mike, XLO. Ancestral Bliss, awesome knowledge on raising children, Mom. Thank you. Um, and thanks, Greg. And so you have to be firm on it. Otherwise, there's like what 60% of families that are divorced.
Or not even married.
Yeah, or they just move in together. Set yourself a rule. Say, I will not move in with somebody. Like why buy them? Why buy the cow if you're already getting the milk for free? Don't put yourself in that situation. I had a belt that would not. Let's see. I had the belt. You got the belt. Yeah, the belt. They used to do the belt. They'd whip you or something. Mike OX Long. There you go. Done, Mike. Your friends know. Say hi to Mike's friends. But that used to be how they did it. And I remember one girl. She said how her parents would hit her and. I said, "You going to hit your kids when you have them?" She goes, "Yes, or they'll get into drugs." I go, "No, they won't, because you don't have to hit to get your point across. Like, if you're going to be hitting, hit yourself if you don't do what you're told, what you tell yourself to do. It doesn't make sense. Like, if you're hitting all the time, how, I remember asking Papa O, I said, "Do you love your dad?" And he goes, "No." I go, "How come?" He says, "He's hitting me all the time." And I don't even know what I did wrong. You don't even know what you did wrong. You just know I got hit. And so you have to find a different place to discipline. They used to hit in school, like Jack's talking about.
No, the Catholic schools.
No belts these days, that's right.
My father sent me to a Catholic school for a while. And
what's the belt?
And the head superior lady.
Hi, Savannah.
She actually
the nun superior.
The nuns did it with the straps.
And one of them on there wants to know what the belt is. You take the belt off your pants, you flip it, and you swat the kid with it. It's horrible.
Behind, they just did it
on their
hand.
The nuns would. Great for them. See, I was spanked. I was too, and I chose not to spank my son. Same here. We were told to get the belt, and we did, and then leaned over the chair. Oh, I remember we lined up and we got spank. And my neighbors next door, they had to stand in the corner. We said, "I'd rather stand in the corner." And they said, "I'd rather be spanked."
Oh, then it's over.
then it's over fast. Jan, oh, my mom was so kind. She allowed us to go out and pick our own switch. That's nice of her. I'll pick this little twig to be hit with. Nuns, I'm going to bed. Goodbye, Jet. Jetters, do you like my number plate? Yes, we love it. And Greg, I did not. Yeah, see, you're from the generation where you don't do the belt. The parents don't do that. But when we got away from the spanking and the belt, the pendulum kind of swung way over here, and the parents didn't do any disciplining. And then they found out we got to do something. We can't just let the kids do whatever. We can't be their friend. I remember my aunt says, "I want to be my kid's friend," and her kids turned out nuts. They were very wild. Says you don't want spanking does get over faster. That's true, and it does sting. Janet, I had the belt. I had a pillow once. Oh, iPhone, can you shout my friend out? Can you? And so disciplining is necessary, and there's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way. That's right, exactly. The pendulum, yeah, they swung way over here, and now you got to find a happy medium of where you what scripture is that where God says to discipline sharply, and then show an increase of love after.
Yeah.
I got to make sure I say that. If you do not show an increase of love after, lest they esteem you to be thine enemy. Yeah, I remember 911. I feel like spanking is child abuse. It is. Because once you get a spanking, choop, 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 you get madder and madder and madder. And pretty soon that kid's got a mark on his behind and you're throwing them or you're hurting them, you're breaking things, and it's horrible. I can't think of the scripture. The scriptures, uh,
Just to show an increase of
yeah, show an increase
kindness
of love,
after the discipline.
lest they esteem thee to be thine enemy.
Yeah.
If you do not show an increase of love after you've disciplined, they will not like you at all. Um, and so you have to make sure you show love after that disciplining, and let them know how much you do care, or you will be their enemy. When and where, or you when? Oh, I was getting the kids ready for school. And Joe called me from work and said, "Turn on the TV. Something happened." Yeah, it was horrible. And I was driving him to school. We had a TV in the van. It was just this old box TV, and then we were watching that, taking the kids to school in the morning. It was horrible. And we have to discipline, as a country, we have to discipline the bad guys. We do. We have to catch them and discipline. That's why we have jails. Train up a child in the way they should go. Thank you. That's it, Janet. I like that. It is 5:30 here. And even as a country, we have to discipline. We can't just let terrorists come around and cause trouble like with 911. They have to be captured and they have to be put in jail. We can't just let them do what they want. No, the UK. Oh, have you been to the UK?
Well, they're talking about Britain, England.
Oh, my brother went there on a mission for the church, for our church. And you've been to England, haven't you?
I've been there going to the continent.
Emma says she has.
Like going to France, the flights are always to England. Then if you want to go to we used to call it the continent, like France.
What's the
and
UKJ? I live in London. Hi, phone. That's awesome. My brother went on a mission to London, England, and he loved it there. And he really enjoyed his mission. He was hit on his bike once, but he was okay. My dad's from England. I'm American. That's awesome, Emma. And he says you're a student. Mar, I've been to the UK twice. Awesome. The police are not racist. That's right. They're not. Our country is not racist. I live in Scotland, says clearly. Scotland. That's are they Irish? Or no, that's Ireland.
No.
Hello, XX Avisma. We're talking about disciplining. Yeah, no, we
Don't
yeah, and so
it.
we have to make sure that discipline happens. It just has to be. And then someday, when Jesus comes back and he's the leader of our country, our world, then we could skip and hold hands and sing "You Are My Sunshine."
You don't.
I know, and so that's why disciplining yourself, disciplining your children, disciplining, let's say, disciplining those that live in your home. Hi, Ashton. Very nice family. Thank you. And Mar, Janet, train up a child is in Proverbs. Thank you, you guys, helping me with the scriptures. I know the general idea of the scripture, but I don't know where to find it or the exact words. So make sure, and disciplining yourself. Like, I know of kids that cannot discipline their mouth of what they say. I know people that can't discipline their eyes, what they're looking at. I know people that can't discipline their ears, what they're listening to. I know people that can't discipline their hands, what their hands are doing. And I know people that cannot discipline their feet, what their feet are taking them to. You got to discipline yourself. What are your eyes looking at? What is your mouth saying? Is there going to spew out hatred, or are you going to spew out some nice words? It's your choice. Discipline yourself. What are your hands doing? What are you looking at? What are you listening to? And so you have to discipline those parts and become somebody that's worth, like God is. What you are is as God's gift to you. What you become is your gift to God. What are you going to become? What are you here on earth for? Do you here just to cause trouble? You're here to do good? You're here to just sit around and watch TV all day? What are you here for? Grateful MC. Very true. Every single person on this earth has some kind of a mission. And what are you going to do about it? Mar, that's why I used concordance to find verses. Oh, thank you. That's a good idea. I'm like you. I know the verse, but I don't know where to find it. Yeah. And clearly, UK is cool because we have good police. That's awesome. Everybody, the whole world has good police, and the whole world has bad police. It's just the way it is. How do I quit Easter? Let's see. You could sing for us. That's actually in the conversation jar to do singing. I was put under to deal with Eastern. Okay. And what are your gifts and your talents? Are you using them? Or if you don't use them, you'll lose them. Are you good? Are you good? Are you a peacemaker? What are you? Ask yourself, what am I? What am I here for? And if you don't know, ask God. Say, God, what am I here for? Be careful, little eyes, what you do with Father above. Who looking down above us? Oh, I like that. It's a really good song. You'll have to post it on Facebook, Janet, you singing it. I run one of the biggest, let's see. And so you have to discipline yourself with your job, discipline yourself with your free time, discipline yourself with your exercise time. Remember, I always talk about your triangle: spiritual, physical, emotional. Every day, do your triangle. Do you want to be a strong person or a weak person, physically, spiritually, emotionally? Discipline yourself and discipline your children. And the consequences are good or they're going to be bad. Let's see. So we're gonna call. I've been told I'm a peacemaker. Grateful MC says, yeah, peacemakers are awesome to have around. They don't like the contention. They don't like the arguing. They're trying to be peacemakers, and peacemakers can be a little too nice sometimes. I'm a peacemaker, and I'm Papa O. He helps me out being a little more firm in the disciplining department. Let's see. A body, soul, spirit. Yes, that's right, Janet. Emma, stop spamming. You are, Ashley, you are so uplifting. You're one of my heroes. Thank you. That is so nice. And people that choose to spam, why is that your choice? Ask yourself, why are you choosing to do that instead of saying nice things? Momma O had a nice, let's see. Janet, hi, Papa. Janet, you are a peacemaker. Pineapple, hello. Thank you for these sweet words. You're welcome. And people that get on YouTube and troll and just cause trouble, say mean things. Do you think you're not going to be held accountable for that? If not in this life, the next one, I wouldn't play around with that if I were you. I would discipline myself to do good. And we need that in the world right now. There's a big divide right now between good and evil. Are you going to be the light or are you going to be the darkness? And light is, one little ray of light is more powerful than a world of darkness. That one little light. Are you going to be that one little light? And Ashley says, amen, I'm glad. And ancestral, you're right. And so you choose what do you want your life to be? What's going to be your legacy? What's going to be said at your funeral? What are your kids and grandkids going to think about? What do your neighbors think about you? Yeah, like Luke Skywalker, the light side, exactly. And thank you, Grateful MC. And it's all a choice. Like sometimes you see in a movie, I had no choice to say, there's always a choice. Always a choice. You're never.
And the choice can be to do bad. Or
yeah.
Good.
And Leona, hi. We were just getting ready to close up. I'm glad you got on in time. We're talking about discipline, Leona. Do you have any comments to say about it? Disciplining your children, disciplining yourself, discipline in the world, or what? What about disciplining? And we compared it to floating. No discipline is floating down a stream, just going wherever the water takes you.
You can discipline yourself.
Yeah.
To take the steps necessary to reach your goals.
Exactly. What goals do you want? Oh, I'm not going to sing today, but that is in my conversation jar. Not making a choice is a choice. I like that, Mar. That'll be our quote for the day. Not making a choice is a choice. Like you say, there's nothing I could do about it. And say, that's what a cop out. You just made that choice to
Competitive
say,
clogging, honey.
just thought, I used to, a, 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 a clogger out there. Yay. I love it.
Find
Clogging
who
is
it
so
is.
fun. When are you going live next? Next Thursday. We do every Thursdays at 5. We're trying to. If we don't, then it means we had something else that we had to go to. We usually do it earlier. But um, boy, I discipline is such an important thing. And yeah, Emma says, good to know. Yeah, you don't just float down the stream. Don't just do whatever. Says you have a choice. Grab out those oars. Steer yourself. Where do you want to go? Are you gonna let the water tell you where to go, or are you gonna tell you where to go? Um, and what are your choices in with your ears, your mouth, your eyes, your hands, your feet? Um, what are your choices? Your thoughts? I forgot to put thoughts in there. You could actually you got to control your thoughts. Thoughts always follow by the action of that thought. And Leona, you're 13. Welcome, Leona. And they're at a good age for when parents got to discipline you. And tell your parents thank you when they discipline you. How's schoolwork? There's a poem. Okay, Aunt Jules, there's a poem, The Dash. I love it. Talks about what kind of person were you between the dash. I like that. From when you were born to when you passed. And how did you live your dash? Ooh, I love that.
That
Thank you.
sounds.
It's a poem. I'll have.
There's rhyming in it.
Yeah, that's poems rhyme. And so that's the message we want to leave with you guys. And we'll be back live tomorrow. Is my DIY on what to do with that zucchini, and they were so good, weren't they? Good. And I found the choices you're making right now are not good. Uh, and wouldn't that be awesome if you start steering your boat instead of letting it just float? So, uh, so we're going to go ahead and close with that thought of their disciplining ancestral best. All the best, Mama Papa. Thank you so much for this. You're so welcome, and I love having the conversation jar. Thank you for happy anniversary. Married 46 years. Papa's birthday was yesterday, and uh, oh, good. I'm glad you blocked him. See, that's what happens. iPhone when you make that choice.
Nobody's not blocked for the other people.
Yeah, I know. Grateful. Good night. Love you both. Good night, Emma. Yeah, the zucchini it's really awesome. It was really, we ate it last night and it was so good. I saw a sign on a lady's door, free zucchini. What do you do with it? And happy belated birthday, Ancestral Bliss says. Happy birthdays. Good night. Good night. Take care. Oh, David, happy birthday. Hi, David. We haven't seen you. Mar, look forward to Thursday. Thank you. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much. And happy birthday, says Grateful.
Thank you, Grateful.
He's grateful for the for the happy birthday. Bye bye. And thanks you guys so much. And remember those words that we've said about disciplining, because your life can be a good one or it can just be a drifter. So, all right. Thank you and good night. That rhymes.